Welcome back for another game break, everybody. In this video, you'll be looking at 20 of the best looking RPGs coming in 2023. This list does not discriminate and covers all platforms. The only criteria for this list is that the RPGs on it look like a good time. The games are in no particular order, so let's get started. You saw this one coming. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. It's a turn-based HD 2D PlayStation 1 inspired RPG with 110 recruitable characters that features a politically driven narrative focused on war and its consequences. Sign me up. It's a spiritual successor to the Suikoden franchise and helmed by its creator, Yoshitaka Murayama. Eiyuden Chronicle promises more of what made its predecessor so great. 6-person party battles, army battles, one-on-one duels, fortress building, and more all return. It was the 4th most profitable Kickstarter of all time, and each new trailer for the game makes it look better and better. Watch for this one. Sea of Stars, another successful Kickstarter and developed by Sabotage Studio, who created the excellent indie hit The Messenger. Taking direct inspiration from Chrono Trigger, it wants to recapture the magic of RPG's golden age. The visuals speak for themselves, and the gameplay systems promise to give players that old school feeling while also being modernized and given the Sabotage Studio's touch. Sabotage Studio was able to deliver with the action platformer genre, so I'm sure they'll be able to do it with RPGs too. Diablo IV, Diablo's back, baby! Boasting a new open world PvP and a return to a more gritty art style, Diablo is hopefully a good step forward for Activision Blizzard. The early impressions and buzz have been very positive, and the isometric action combat looks like it's been further refined and polished. A strong narrative has also been promised with what looks like a return to the gothic epic fantasy blend the second game perfected. So Blizzard, where's Warcraft 4? Baldur's Gate 3. Available in early access since 2020, Baldur's Gate 3 will get an official full version release in 2023. The character creation alone is a good reason to be excited for this game. And with every patch, the game is adding more races, classes, features, and locations to explore. Being a sequel to Baldur's Gate 2 can't be easy, as it's one of the greatest games of all time. But Larian Studios created the universally acclaimed Divinity Original Sin 2, so it's in good hands. While some key alterations to how combat works have been made in Baldur's Gate 3, it is still looking to be a heck of a good time, and a game that will live up to the legacy of both Baldur's Gate and Larian Studios. Final Fantasy XVI, sex, violence, drugs. Let's get this party started. Final Fantasy XVI is taking a much different approach gameplay and story-wise from its predecessors. It eschews the traditional battle party system, though there will be guest characters for a single character action-based system, and it will have a much darker story. And as always with Final Fantasy, there will be amazing graphics, giant summons, and once again, magical crystals. Fire Emblem Engage, the first mainline Fire Emblem game in 3.5 years, will deliver the classic tactical role-playing combat this series is known for, but with a new twist. Old Fire Emblem protagonists can be summoned to bestow their summoners with unique abilities and appearances. Fire Emblem games always have extensive rosters with characters that become beloved by the franchise's fans, as there are often many with great designs and memorable personalities. Fire Emblem Engage is looking like a beautiful title for the Switch, as the gameplay videos released so far show beautiful graphics and smooth-looking combat. Octopath Traveler 2. The original Octopath Traveler paved the way for the HD 2D genre Square Enix has capitalized on, and the sequel promises to fix issues players had with the first game, while keeping the elements gamers loved. So expect the same turn-based battle system, featuring boost points and different jobs to select for your characters. And for changes, there will be double the class actions for characters to use out of battle, such as dueling or stealing from NPCs, along with a greater focus on interactions between party members, and making each character's individual journey feel like a completely different RPG. The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure. I've already played this RPG, so I can tell you it's awesome. The sequel to The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure, is an ultra satisfying sequel to its predecessor and features the same unmatched level of world building and character development within the JRPG sphere. It retains a classic turn-based battle system and has a fascinating geopolitical story that sets the table for many conflicts in the series' future. Every RPG fan who loves story above all else needs to give this series a try. The Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie, the 10th game in the Trails series, that's right, 10th. And the story is only 60 to 70% done. So there might be another 10, given how this series usually ends up making more games than planned per arc. Anyway, this is the latest game in the series to reach Western shores. Trails into Reverie serves as the final conclusion to Crossbell's and Erebonia's respective arcs, and promises an insanely large roster of characters to choose from as you play through this RPG story from 3 different perspectives. Get ready for some awesome music, flashy specials, and even more world building with this latest Legend of Heroes title. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune and Dunan Unification Wars. If you hate beautiful sprite work, don't buy it. If you hate war-focused stories and political intrigue, don't buy it. If you hate fast-paced classic RPG combat that respects your time, again, don't buy this game. If you hate good music, don't f***ing buy it. And most of all, if you f***ing hate good world building and large rosters of likable characters, don't buy this game. But seriously, go f***ing buy it. Starfield, Bethesda's next big hit, I hope. Starfield is the first new IP for Bethesda in 25 years, and it looks promising. More complex relationships with companion characters, and an extensive amount of voice dialogue. Bethesda is betting big on success. Combat is gun-focused with a robust amount of skills to choose and level up, along with your very own ship to customize at your pleasure. Nothing is really known about the main story yet, but the world building alone seems to be top-notch, and the ability to play in either first or third-person modes complements the extensive character creation nicely, as it provides players more opportunity to look at their characters. It should come out this year and remains my #1 reason to buy an Xbox. Dragon Age 4 Dreadwolf. After several restarts in development and reported conflicts on what the vision for the game should actually be, Dragon Age is back. Dragon Age 4 will reportedly still be a single-player focused experience with proposed multiplayer additions not being implemented. Not a lot has been shown yet, but it is confirmed to feature Solus as the main villain. He was also a companion character in Dragon Age Inquisition. The Tevinter Imperium is also heavily implied to be the game's setting. BioWare is keen to keep up the momentum of its comeback tour after the failure of Anthem and the subsequent success of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So to say this game's success is crucial to BioWare's future as a studio is no understatement. But so far, everything is sounding promising, and hopefully a gameplay reveal will further assuage everyone's minds. Avowed, the first-person Skyrim-like RPG developed by Obsidian Entertainment. 2023 might be a bit of a stretch for this title, but it's certainly possible as Obsidian's release schedule is wide open currently, and 2023 was its release goal. Development seems to be progressing smoothly after development was rebooted in 2020. Avowed is set within the same world as the esteemed Pillars of Eternity franchise, and rumor is the game will be massive, with large cities, multiple factions, and large-scale boss battles. Sounds awesome. But unless something is said over the next while, expect it to slip into 2024. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. The HD 2D train keeps chugging along, doesn't it? Not that I'm complaining. Dragon Quest III is the next HD 2D game from Square Enix after Octopath Traveler II, and the first for the Dragon Quest series. Dragon Quest III will feature turn-based battles and was the first in the series to feature a job system. Dragon Quest III is a popular game in the Dragon Quest series, so it is a good candidate for this type of remake. And you can bet if it's any type of success, which it will be, we'll be seeing many more Dragon Quest remakes in this style. Front Mission 2, the second game in Square Enix's tactical role-playing mech franchise, was never released officially overseas until now. The game has had an extensive visual overhaul and will likely fix the original release's biggest problem: extensive loading times. It was very well received when it originally released in Japan, so hopefully the mech customization and battles will satisfy a worldwide audience when they finally get their hands on it this year. Granblue Fantasy Relink. I think this might actually be the year this game releases. It was first shown in 2017, so it's been a long time coming. Developed by Cygames, Granblue Fantasy Relink is based upon Cygames' mobile hit of the same name. While it is set in the same world and uses the same characters, it is a completely standalone adventure featuring action role-playing game combat, beautiful visuals, and a bunch of characters to choose from. It does have a multiplayer component, but it's totally optional, and the game can be completed solo. Thank God. Little Devil Inside. This Kickstarter game is an odd-looking yet somehow captivating sounding title, featuring a minimalist art style with survival, open world, and roguelite elements. Little Devil Inside sounds like a unique experience. A heavy emphasis on proper mission preparation between missions to ensure the player's survival is key to the game. This includes what weapons you bring for combat, what clothes you wear for the weather, and what mode of transportation you decide to use to arrive at your destination. Your decisions along the way will make or break you. Sounds cool. The Legend of Nayuta, Boundless Trails. This PSP RPG made by Falcom has been remastered for PC, PlayStation, and the Switch. It's an action RPG with gameplay similar to Falcom's Ys series. Improvements to this remaster include improved sound, added dialogue, new character portraits, and a 60 frame per second frame rate. A quick scan of reviews online show it to be a well-received RPG experience, so definitely consider giving it a try if you want to go on a nice little adventure. Metal Slug Tactics. The Metal Slug tactical role-playing game leaves a strong first impression with its fluid and great-looking sprite work. It promises high replayability due to its roguelite elements and a significant challenge for players. Its style and characters remain true to the Metal Slug series, and it promises tactical role-playing game combat with all the trimmings: skill trees, perks, special attacks, and more. So get ready to slug it out tactical style. Redemption Reapers. Last on the list is another tactical role-playing game. This time it's from the developers at AdGlobe, whom are also responsible for the well-received action role-playing game Ender Lilies. Redemption Reapers touts a dark fantasy story and a more mature graphical style to match, almost as if a Dark Souls title went the tactical role-playing game route. It has a decked-out voice cast and is promising an emotional story experience. It's also being developed by Masayuki Horikawa, a Fire Emblem alum that has directed several Fire Emblem titles. If AdGlobe can develop this title on par with their last game, it should end up being a good experience. Anyway, I'm done. That's the list. Now get out there and start planning which of these games you want to play. And before you go, please like and please subscribe. See you later.